Hello everybody and welcome. We are live here. Just getting to the end of quali for our Brazilian Grand Prix. Give you a quick race info. My name is Alex Shanna. I will be your commentator today. We are at Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, and we are in Brazil, Sao Paulo. Pretty far above sea level, 2,500 feet. Temperature is 89 degrees Fahrenheit with a track temp of 78. Actually, track temp is 89. The ambient temperature is 78. So we are not too hot, but it will be getting hotter as the morning goes on. We have clear skies and the sun is out. Partly cloudy, so we might get a little bit of cloud cover throughout the race. But for now, we are going to go ahead and jump right on over to see how our qualifying is going. And I think we are just ending qualifying. We are in heat number 1. Let's jump to our pole position. Don't have much time here. Gridding up. Anybody on the grid? There we go. Looks like James Molaire is our guy. Let's get a better view on him here. James Molaire sitting out in pole. Had a very quick time. Checo Krigsman right behind him. Easton Ciappelloni in 3rd. Jeff Schroeder in 4th. Jake Potts, and we are about to go. A couple more cars waiting for the grid. Got 2 minutes of gridding time. Beautiful shot here of the Knox eMotorsports car. James, fastest in a couple of races here. He is looking to get his first win on pole here of his IFL career. He's had many podiums, many high starts, but no top finishes getting the win. So we will keep an eye on him, see if he can't pull that out today. Echo Krigsman behind him. We see our grid here. Just waiting for 3rd place. Jeff Schroeder there in 4th. Jake Potts in 5th. And there we go. Cars are off. Coming down into turn 1, James Molaire is almost tracked down by Echo Krigsman. James Molaire side by side. 3rd place didn't line up. Marion Barbaro in 4th. So we have a Get Good, Knox, and Get Good battle up front. Jeff Schroeder for Lumos is in 4th now. Gets ahead of Marion Barbaro. James is losing the battle to Tieco right off the get-go. But James has some help with Jake Potts right behind him. Schroeder behind them in Lumos. Marion Barbaro, Lucas Link, Paul Ayala, Alex Shanna, Danny O'Keefe, Patrick Olson. All in the top 10. Danny O'Keefe in 10th. Looks like O'Keefe is battling Ricardo Marquis. Look at that. Wow, we have a close field here. Everybody's right on top of each other. See if we can't get a dynamic camera. Not sure if we have one for this track. There we go. The dynamic camera from above. Ooh, some touching going on. Alex Shanna is being kind of pinched in between 2 cars here. Marquis and Ayala. We'll jump back up to the leader here. Side by side with James Molaire. They're going to go into turn 1. James Molaire has the advantage, but he has the outside line. He will be getting the inside line on relief. Jake Potts in 3rd behind him. Jeff Schroeder still in 4th. You see our big gainers, Lucas Linz in 6th, going up 4 positions from 10th, and Echo Krigsman holds on to 1st place for the moment. James Molaire right there with his teammate Jake Potts. Marion Barbaro in 4th, trying to back up his teammate Tieco. We'll see how this rolls out. And it looks like Jeff Schroeder in the pits already. Definitely something happening to him. As we follow the leaders here. Tieco is been overtaken by James Miller here in the infield. Tieco probably has that lower downforce, which is going to give him the advantage down the straights. So James Miller is going to want to defend Tieco as best he can. James right up there, followed by Potts, Schroeder, and Barbaro. Looks like Barbaro really pushing on the inside there of Jeff Schroeder. Oh, and a crash behind. Like Ricardo De Marchi is going to be out of this one. Real close to Shanna, as Shanna's being overtaken now by, looks like, Miller and Journey both. Oh, Patrick Olson gets him there. Miller on the inside of him. Let's see if he can recover from that little bit of damage. You can see his front wing there, damage on the left side. That's unfortunate. James Miller starting to pull away from Tieco a tiny bit. Jake Potts, side by side, Jeff Schroeder and Marion Barbaro. Marion taking 4th place from Jeff, but Jeff is going to fight back and get him on the inside. Paul Ayala. Ooh, yeah, Shanna being really pressured by the 2 cars behind him, Andy Ray Miller and John Nicholas Journey. John Nicholas Journey, being a teammate, was probably just going to try and help Alex defend the attack going on. And we have, wow, a real lineup of cars. 2 Blue Frogs right there. Ooh, and we have Jack Clark going around. We have Tristan Marshall here. He just got his first points the week before. Andre Hansen in the Ingrid Alexandria Racing car. Then we have Nick Marshall, another Blue Frog right there behind him. And we have Danny O'Keefe behind them. 16th place, Easton Chiappellone. He started up in 3rd. Did not grid, however, so I'm not sure what happened with that. Victor Jorgensen and Randolph Smith right here. Let's jump back up to our race leaders. Interval is still less than a second there. And wow, we have good battle there, but right on top of each other here. Andy Ray Miller is trying to catch up to Patrick Olson and Alex Shanna. John Nicholas Journey right on his bumpers, as well as Jackson Carr. We have some good battles. We have a little bit of spacing here, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars within striking distance of each other right here. We have a big pack up front of 4 or 5 cars within striking distance. Jeff and Marion battling, which is slowing them down, but right behind them, Lucas Linz and Paul Ayala pushing right up, and then Patrick Olson trying to run them down as well. Right in the pack here. Great stuff looking at this race so far. We see Andy Ray Miller going and spinning out here. Got the back of, look like John Journey. And ooh, a Blue Frog slides off and gets John Journey as well. So that is a rough one. But we continue on. Let's take a look up. Looks like Jake Potts in 3rd. Still trying to track down Tieco Krigsman. Marion Barbaro in front of Jeff Schroeder. I think Jeff Schroeder something happened to him. Had to have. He's dropped down to 8th. Maybe he pit, but it doesn't look like it because Marion Barbaro is right here in front of him. But Jeff Schroeder getting chased down a little bit by his teammate Alexander Shanna. But big jumpers right now is Jackson Carr going up 6 positions. Nick Marshall up 4. Turo Mayorga is up 6. Randolph Smith 6, Hansen 3, and Alberg 5. We see Schroeder is a loss right now, down 4. Shanna's even, Carr up 6, and then Chiappellone down 8, I think that is. It looks like 8 positions. That is not fun when you start off in 3rd and you're in 8th. But James Miller just trying to put a little bit of distance between himself and Krigsman now 1.4 seconds down the straight. While Jake Potts is trying to run down Krigsman. It's looking like he might get him here. He is only 2/10 back going down into turn 1. Krigsman, ooh, what an adjustment there. Yeah, Potts looking on the inside. Krigsman is still on the outside. Potts taking the real shallow line. Trying to get a good release, and he does. Krigsman is behind him now. Great move there by Jake Potts. Nice and clean. They're going to try and ride each other's coattails down into turn 3. Krigsman can't get it done, but we have behind Marion Barbaro, Lucas Lins, Patrick Olson right behind him, Paul Ayala right behind him. Ooh, nice battle here for the Mercury Motorsports car. Ayala doing a great job keeping up with the Patrick Olson, Lucas Lins train here. Lins right behind Barbaro too. I mean, all the way up to 4th place right here is our battle, and right behind them is Schroeder and Shanna a little bit farther back. Here we go. We are going to be going down the straight here in just a moment, coming out of the final turn in just a second. See if we can't get an onboard here. Paul Ayala looking good. Here we go on the roll bar, looking straight forward. Let's see if he can't get in the slipstream. He is 0.7 back from Olson. Should be able to get in the slip. Krigsman and Potts still fighting up front for 2nd and 3rd. A great move there, just keeping in a good slip for Ayala and for Lins. It's going to be a good battle here. Jump 1 forward up into Olson's car. You see Team Banana Olson right there on the hood of the car. More like the nose of the car, but Lins is being run down by Olson. Olson performing very well this year. Last season he was about mid-pack. This season he is consistently in the top 10 and pushing to get himself up into that top 5 spot. He should have a great run on Lins here. Barbaro is starting to become a little bit closer as well. He's only 1.6 back, 1.7 back from Lins. He was around 2 seconds ahead going into the last few laps. So closing some gap here. Lins only 1.5, 1.4. Barbaro, yeah, definitely slowing down. Could just be a combination of tire temperature and fuel. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on these guys just for the moment. Ayala falling back just out of that slipstream. He's 0.9 back. He would like to be a little bit closer. Here they come down into turn 1. Olson's going to try and get the exit here. It looks like he does. 0.1 behind him. He is right on the tailpipe there of Lins. Ooh, late move by Lins. Olson is not going to like that one, but they're going to come down into turn 3. Lins has the inside. Olson had to let off just to avoid some contact there. I gotta say, I do love the Team Banana livery. It is quite awesome to see. Great graphic design there. Have that old retro Mario Kart feel, and I love it. So, great job to the designer of the liveries there. Each week, I'm always impressed by the liveries of all of our drivers and the creative team aspects that we get going on here. But we should have another great run from Patrick Olson down the straight. He's right behind Lins. And as I say that, with Jackson Carr doing the same thing right behind Shanna. We'll keep an eye. Jump from one to the other. Patrick Olson. Yep, definitely in that slip. 0.3 seconds back. Ayala 1.2, so he's fallen back a slight bit. It's like he's getting attacked by Schroeder. Let's see if anything happens. 2 cars here, 2 cars behind, and Olsen cannot make the move happen. We'll go back to Schroeder. Schroeder can't make the move happen. Jackson Carr on Shanna. Can he make the move happen? No. Yes, he does. Shanna has the inside. Let's see if he fights back. Side by side here, Shanna with who is that behind him? Jackson Carr is what it is showing me. Is that Easton? Yeah, it is. Easton Chiappellone. In the looks like the old Game Stonks livery. Ran in Season 1 by Weston Epps. He's bringing it back. Shanna under pressure again. Ooh, this is a tight turn to try and make a pass on for Carr. Shanna on the inside. He'll have the great entrance, but can he take away the inside of the next turn? It looks like Shanna stays wide to avoid contact. Just being a little safe there. And we have Jackson Carr right up behind him. Going into the final couple corners. Patrick Olsen still working on Lucas Linz ahead of him here. He's going to be in that slip. Schroeder on Ayala. Carr on Shanna. And Chiappellone on Shanna too. Let's jump up to Olsen. Woo! That was close on the barrier there. I know you want to get as close as you can, but wow, that was really close. Patrick Olsen still fighting to try and get Linz behind him. Let's see, Shanna is being overtaken on both sides. Chiappellone and Jackson Carr. Shanna gets a little bump out of the exit. And he has 2 cars go by him in one corner because of that bump. Oh, that is unfortunate. And we have something going on with Randolph Smith. It looks like he just moved up. Jeff Schroeder in the pits. Coming out of the pit lane now. That is going to be his mandatory pit stop. We are at lap 10 of 28, about a third of the way through the race. So 2/3 left. Should be thinking about pit stops around, lap 10, 11, 12. And that should be able to get you to the end with these 50% fuel tanks that we have. Let's check in on our leader. We have a battle coming up here. Tieco and Jake Potts in third, fighting for second. Let's see if Potts can get a move defending, or if Tieco can get an overtake here. We have Patrick Olsen as well, right behind Linz, and we have Ayala right behind Olsen again. We have Tieco Kriegsman on the outside, Jake Potts on the inside, going down into turn 1. Nothing happened in turn 1. Potts gets a little deep there. Tieco Kriegsman might have the exit, but Olsen might have the outside. Linz going way towards the outside toward him, trying to maximize his entrance, and it's slowing them up tremendously. Ayala is right behind him, made up about half a second. Looks like Kriegsman trying to go right behind the back of Potts again. And Shanna is, he's in the pits there, lap 11. Let's pop up our pit graphic. See who has pit and on what lap. Chiappellone lap 1 was in the pits at the start. Shanna lap 10, technically. It's the beginning of lap 11, lap 9 for Schroeder, lap 9 for Journey, lap 9 for Marshall. So, beginning of our pit window. These cars are going to be full all the way to the end. They have to make these tires last. Looks like Tieco Kriegsman is still in third. Or no, that's Marion Barbaro. Still in third behind Jake Potts. Patrick Olsen just got by. And they're bumping Lucas Linz. Paul Ayala right behind him again. 0.4 seconds, so they're going to get a double slipstream for Ayala. This could be a great move for Ayala to try and just get past both of them and keep them behind. Since they're fighting so hard, this is going to be a hell of a stretch. Olsen right behind Linz. I think Linz has the lower downforce if you look at the wings. Linz has less wing. He's going to have the straightaway speed, and Olsen's going to have a hard time getting by him right here. Ayala, same with the higher downforce car, so he's not going to be as effective down the straightaway. Take a look at Tieco and Potts. Potts still holding Tieco off for his teammate. James Miller, you can see, running away, 3.7 seconds ahead of Potts and Tieco Kriegsman. All Ayala side by side going into turn 3. Patrick Olsen, Lucas Linz takes it back. Ayala right there, 1, 2, 3. We're going to take a look farther back in the grid. Arturo Mayorga and Nick Marshall right here, right on top of each other. Mayorga probably trying to pass his teammate. You always like to be the one that ends up getting the points. But Patrick Olson, what happened to him? He looks like he has spun out. And did he touch with Lucas Lins? Looks like it, because Ayala is through, Chia Pallone is through, and yeah, Lucas Lins and Patrick Olson are now back in 8th and 9th, and they're going to be fighting for points at this point, because they have a hungry couple cars behind them. Jackson Carr right there, he's a great driver. Nick Marshall in 10th in that last point. Looks like Marshall is coming up on Tristan Marshall. Got 3 Blue Frogs right there in a row. Tristan Marshall back in 22nd. He's trying to make up as much ground as he can on the field to start as close to the front for the sprint race after this. Jackson Carr in the pits, getting his tires, his fuel. Going to continue on. James Molaire, 5.1 seconds out now, because Potts has a hungry Krigsman right behind him. Krigsman leading our championship as of today. We're going to see Patrick Olson still on the bumper of Lins. Whatever happened, they both spun out, and they are both right there. Let's take a look. Krigsman should have the speed coming down the straightaway here. Make a move on Potts. Jackson Carr, lap 12. That is our only other pit that we have seen, other than the few that we listed earlier. Checo Krigsman not going to have the speed. Does not look like it. He's going to go way wide, try and cut deep into this turn. Ooh, Jake Potts, a little tap. Oh no, that might have been a little bit of net code there. Potts in the pits now. Shame. Tieco has been held up quite a bit. It looks like his front wing might be damaged. Take a look from a rear chase view. And it looks like maybe a little bit, but still looks fairly straight, so he's going to continue on. And we have Olson is our closest battle right now, 0.2 seconds away. And Lynn's defending heavy. I mean, these guys are going right back and forth at each other. Olson is throwing some really good moves on Lins, and Lins is putting up a great defense here, so great to watch these two drivers really battle it out. We're going to jump back to Danny O'Keefe because he is pushing up, trying to get Arturo Mayorga and Nicholas Marshall. And our overlay just reset there for a second. Jeff Schroeder in 14th. Being chased down by Allberg. Danny O'Keefe right on the bumper. Ooh, yeah. Danny O'Keefe, we know, is very quick. He's had a couple of podiums here in the IFL over the seasons, and he is going to be pushing right behind Arturo Mayorga and Nick Marshall both. He might be able to get both the Blue Frogs, and even the third Blue Frog, who was in 22nd, just lapped in Tristan Marshall. See some of these guys. Alexander Shannon right up behind John Journey. We have Lucas Lins going into the pit lane. Paul Ayala going into the pit lane. Patrick Olson still out there. Lucas Lins is not in the pit lane. Paul Ayala. Arturo Mayorga coming down. Andre Hansen looks like is coming into the pits. Arturo is trying to get out of that pit lane as fast as he can. Paul Ayala has crashed. Oh no, he's just coming off Mercury Motorsports car down the straight here. And there he goes, out in front of a hungry Elmer Allberg. Allberg's going to have those warmer tires. He is yet to pit. But Ayala, he has those new tires and some fuel, so he's gonna have to make those tires work for quite a bit. Patrick Olson we got right now, still working on Lucas Linz. I'm just wondering how far is he going to be able to go on his current tank of gas. We are on lap 16, going to be coming up to lap 17. Olson still in that slip of Linz. This is a great battle for 5th and 6th. 0.2 behind. Now we're going to go to Danny O'Keefe. Has a slipstream on Nick Marshall. See if he's going to get by him here. We already saw Ayala take his pit stop. Arturo Mayorga, fellow Blue Frog, has taken his pit stop as well, and that is Danny O'Keefe making it look easy on Nick Marshall. O'Keefe, like I said, has had some really great races. He's doing such a great job in this league. Marshall getting a little too much curve there. Gonna slow him down, and Tristan Marshall in front of him, number 10. Gonna want to slow O'Keefe up as much as he can without impeding a blue flag penalty. Tristan Marshall is gonna want to get out of O'Keefe's way as soon as possible without causing an incident, because then we all know that'll give him some penalty points here. O'Keefe getting by now. Tristan Marshall letting him through. Nick Marshall as well, and Nick Marshall is gonna have a good run. Ooh, a little lockup there. Down they come into the final corner before the straightaway. O'Keefe has a little bit of a gap there. 0.7 seconds. And ooh, Barbaro is just getting in front of James Molaire. James Molaire out of the pits. He is going to be slowing Molaire up as much as he can. I am sure to give Krigsman as much of a chance as humanly possible here. Krigsman up in first for the moment, but Molaire, great time to pit halfway through the race, a little bit past halfway through the race, and we are going to see if this pays off. A late pit stop. Krigsman has yet to pit. He's going to have a full tank of fuel. Should get him about 20 laps in. Quite a few people haven't pit. Like Randolph Smith, Yalmer Alberg into the pits now. We're getting to the end of the life of the fuel for some of these cars. Looks like who is behind? That's Chiaplone in fourth. He has jumped up quite a bit. And as Privateer, he was one of our pro drivers that has dropped down into the AM division here. So he has to run as a individual in this series. So he's a privateer running Game Stonks logo. James Molaire no longer being held up by Marion Barbaro. He's going to go right on by. Chiappolone in third. Pit lap 1. I don't think he's going to be able to get to the end of the race on that. So he will have to pit one more time. And with the distances behind, it looks as though he'll probably come out around that 5th place. Maybe even 6th place down where Marion Barbaro is right now. He was closing the gap on Barbaro just the tiniest bit, so he'll be a few seconds behind Barbaro. Should place him in 6th ahead of Danny O'Keefe. Let's jump to Jackson Carr here. He is trying to put a little bit of a move back onto, looks like number 92, Jeff Schroeder. And Schroeder is going to be behind Patrick Olson there. Schroeder keeping the edge on Jackson Carr. Schroeder keeping the lead, and he's going to have to try and push up and get as many points as he can for the Lumos team. Currently 3rd in the standings. After a fantastic weekend at Spa, they took in the sprint race, they took 1st, 2nd, and 4th, which gave them some fairly okay points, put them up in the 3rd place. Still not a great battle for them to try and get up into 1st and 2nd. So they're going to want to maximize as many points as they can to try and give a push to the Knox and get good racing squads. It looks like Schroeder has closed the gap. Those fresh tires, he's able to push this a little bit harder. Ooh, and looks like Olsen goes around. Take a look and see. Ooh, he's got to get back on that track. He does. Good spin around from him. Danny O'Keefe being chased down. For Jackson Carr chasing down Jeff Schroeder now. Jeff Schroeder went from attacking to defending. Nick Marshall in the pits just coming down the lane here. Lynn's running out front in fourth. 8 seconds behind Chiapolone. But Chiapolone pushing on Tieko Krigsman here. Great recovery from Chiapolone. That's why he was one of our pros. Ooh, and Jack Clark going off track. Yeah, a little bit of an incident. Shanna right here. Ooh, side by side. That with Nick Marshall right there. He gets by Arturo Mayorga and Nick Marshall. Both Blue Frogs. Shanna in 12th place right now. John Nicholas Journey, his teammate, 1 spot ahead of him. And it looks like he's still got some damage on that front wing. From our view, the left side. It's a little bit of a kink there. Mayorga pushing up behind Shanna. We saw Marshall coming out of the pits. Mayorga hit 4 laps earlier. And Marshall is a lot slower on those cold tires, but Arturo Mayorga will be able to push up right behind Shanna. And ooh, what happened to O'Keefe? He's in the pits. Lynn's in the pits. And Schroeder's going to be able to go on by and take 4th place from them. Jackson Carr back in, that'll be 5th. Tieko Krigsman in the pit again. Let's see why that is. Take a quick look and see if and that is Shanna's got 20x, and it doesn't look like Krigsman has any. Ooh, Krigsman second pit stop. He gets tires, he gets fuel. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe he's trying to strategize to try and get into 12th. Because we have right behind him. Yeah, we have right behind him Shanna, who is serving a loss of control, which puts him over his incident limit. He's at 20 now. That's not a good start. A lot of contact throughout the race for him. 10x for Tristan Marshall, so some contact between them. Ooh, looks like Torgeston jumped to the back, Nicholas Marshall to the back. Shanna in 13th, Krigman in 12th, which is essentially provisional pole for the next portion of our broadcast, which is the sprint race. Shanna really trying to just hang with Krigsman. Shanna not getting tires. He just had to serve his drive-through penalty. We have Andre Hansen behind them, 1.1 seconds. Shanna 0.2 seconds here. See if he can make a move on Krigsman. Going down the straight. Couple, John Drini 0.8 behind Olsen. He's trying to keep himself in the points there. Hansen 0.9 back. Closing the gap. Shanna right up behind Krigsman. There he goes into the slipstream down the last part of the main straight. Takes the outside line. Krigsman defending on the inside. Shanna way too deep. Does he catch it? Looks like he was able to catch it. And ooh, he's in the grass here. That is not a good thing to have happen. You will not want to be doing that in the sprint race after this. Take a look. James Miller, Marion Barbaro right behind him in second. Marion looking for a podium, but he's got Easton Chiapolone right behind him, pushing up, trying to get that second place spot. As a privateer, he needs as many points as he can get for himself and his quote-unquote team. Team of one. Where do we have some fun going on track? John Journey trying to catch up to Patrick Olsen for the last couple points here. Gets him a couple more points if he goes from 9th to 8th. We're lap 22 of 28 for this feature race. Journey making up a little bit of time. A little slipstream there. And Linz is... Ooh, he's going to be overtaken there by Journey and Olsen. So Linz, I don't know if he had a penalty or something happened to him. Andy Ray Miller shows he crashed, but I don't think that's really accurate. Yeah, Lucas Linz still in the pits. He is back into 13th. Uh-oh, 14th now. Shanna goes by. Who's going to be racing Shanna out of the pits here? If, yeah, Shanna has a jump on him. Shanna going to have to jump up to Andre Hansen. 6 seconds ahead to try and get that pole position. Right now, Hansen sitting in pole, Tieco sitting in second, and Daniel Keefe sitting in third for the start of the sprint race. James Molaire, Marion Barbaro, and Easton Chiapolone. Easton right behind Barbaro, 0.6 seconds back. And this is our closest battle on track at the moment. See Easton Chiapolone closing that gap, 0.4 seconds now. Marion Barbaro just doing everything he can just to fend off Chiapolone, pushing up really well. Like I said, this is our closest track battle. It looks like Linz is back in the pits. Not sure why. Let's take a look and see. Go to off tracks. Linz only has 8 off tracks, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Shanna should be the only one that has to pit for a penalty. Let's take a look at our gap time as well. Marion Barbaro 26 seconds behind James Molaire. That is incredible. Ooh, and we're going to see Chiapolone going into turn 1 with Barbaro. Malone getting the better entrance. But Barbaro is going to get the better exit and be able to attack him down into turn 3. It's really going to matter who has the slip going down the back straight and who can get in front of each other before that start line if these drivers keep right on top of each other for the rest of the race. Jake Potts pushing up behind Lucas Linz. Did not give up. And Linz is going to have to, he gives the spot to James Molaire. And Jake Potts, we know, was right there with Marion Barbaro and Tieco Krigsman. And they were fighting for that top spot against James Molaire. We see a move being done on the outside. Jake Potts side by side with Linz. Jake Potts holding his own. He has a better exit than Linz, but Linz might have better start down the straight. Potts on the inside. Linz, ooh, really cuts him. Won't be able to now. And Linz, ooh, he gets into the grass a tiny bit. Tries to, whoa, really throw it. And, oh, Linz really just, I think, a little too aggressive on the trying to get back out to the outside to make something happen there. Jake Potts gets away, probably has a little bit of wing damage there for sure. Maybe a little bit of tie rod damage. We're going to keep watching James Molaire here, passing people left and right. It's like Randolph Smith, his next blue flag victim. And Molaire is lapping 7 drivers. Once Torgerson in the pit lane for a little bit there with some damage. He is 3 laps down. Ricardo Marquis, he is out. So lap 2, getting into it with Shanna a little bit. And Randolph Smith is just going to try and keep in the slip here. James Mollaire running away with this one, 27 seconds ahead of the next person in front of him. More than a minute ahead of most of the rest of the field. He's just flying. John Journey is our closest battle right now, though. Actually, Krigsman coming up on O'Keefe is. Krigsman closed the gap quite a bit. 1.1 second on O'Keefe. O'Keefe just trying to keep in the points here. Krigsman's going to want as many points as he can, being the championship leader. Let's see if O'Keefe can deny him that point. We're going to be coming up on lap 27 of 28. Krigsman and O'Keefe not lapped yet by by James Mollaire. I'm going to take a look at our big gainers and our big losers today. Our Charger, Jackson Carr, right now tied with Arturo Mayorga. Jackson Carr started in 16th, currently in 5th. And Mayorga starting 20th, currently in 9th. That just shows what some clean driving can do. You see the rest of the field has either had an incident, an off track, penalty, something that's gone wrong. Krigsman right behind O'Keefe. Closing that gap even more. Half a second now. And he was 1.1 seconds back. So he's really trying to get as many points as he can. Arturo Mayorga is 2.6 seconds ahead of O'Keefe. Just looking at a little under 3, like 2.5 seconds for Krigsman to Arturo Mayorga, and he's one of our fastest cars on track, fighting some of these guys in the midfield. He should be able to get himself at least past O'Keefe, but we have this lap and one more to go, so it's going to be a close one. See if O'Keefe can defend. They are closing down on Arturo Mayorga as well. Less than 1.9 seconds now. Tieco is going to take the outside, just stay behind O'Keefe. And this is lap 27 for these drivers here. I know our graphic said 27 before, but that goes off of our race leader, James Mollaire, who is coming back around now for the last lap of the race. He is just starting, well, hey, you could almost say is his victory lap here. As long as nothing happens, nobody gets in his way, he should be fine. And Tieco Krigsman and Danny O'Keefe going side by side into turn number 5. Big that looping turn. Ooh, Tieco gets pushed a little wide by O'Keefe. Love the elbows out attitude from O'Keefe here. We have a couple battles up front. Ayala only less than a second back from Carr. Schroeder just pushing up behind Ayala. Olsen kind of back in his no man's land here. John Journey is out somehow. Oh, he's probably just disconnected. We'll go to Danny O'Keefe, who is being chased. John Journey back in 8th, back on track. Mayorga gonna come across in 9th. O'Keefe in 10th. Krigsman pushing up behind him. This is last lap here for these guys. Mollaire should be coming around, as he is going to take home his first win in the IFL in Brazil here on a hot one. Temps getting up into the 90-degree mark at the beginning of the race. Let's jump back. We have a couple cars really fighting here last lap. Schroeder pushing up behind Ayala. Ayala right behind Jackson Carr. This is for 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then we have Krigsman looking for the last points position in 10th. So we'll keep an eye on these guys going down the straight, see if any changes happen. Jeff Schroeder is pushing right behind. Let's see if he has a good getaway. He needs to get in front of that Mercury Motorsports car right away, and it looks like Jackson Carr is going to be our 4th place finisher. Cipollone in 2nd, Barbaro in 3rd. Can Jeff Schroeder get around Paul Ayala? It's not going to look like it. Oh, Ayala with a little bit of a block there at the end. Let's jump to Journey, who is being run down by O'Keefe. Ooh, Arturo Mayorga, what happened? He must have had a bad exit out of the last corner there. We have Journey in 8th. O'Keefe holding off Tieco. Tieco coming home in the last point spot, gets that 1 point. Arturo Mayorga in 11th, and then that leaves Alexander Shanna. Going to be on pole for the upcoming sprint race. Andre Hansen fighting with Randolph Smith. Randolph Smith gets in front of him, but Randolph Smith is a lapped car. He does not need to be fighting Andre Hansen. But for the sake of a little bit of fun, I'm sure they were fighting. They both know that they're out of the points, out of the qualifying for the sprint race. Just having some fun. Here we are. Sprint race done. Warm up starting right now. We got 5 minutes, so we're going to cut to a commercial from Extreme Scoring. They are the software providers for our entire league. They do a great job providing a great product for us to keep track of our points, our standings. They even give us the ability to have paints in the background running. So just like trading paints, they have a service like that. They have a safety car service, all sorts of things. So for the sake of you guys knowing what they are, here they are.
Allow Extreme Scoring to do the work for you.
All right. That's our quick 15-second commercial. Minute into warm-ups here. Let's pull up our results from heat number 1. We will see James Molaire is right on top there for Noxie Motorsports. Easton Cipollone, Privateer, running on his own this remainder of the AM season since the pro season is no longer in effect. Marion Barbaro taking home 3rd, round off the podium spots for Get Good Racing. They are getting some great points each and every week. Teammate Tieco, a little bit more unfortunate than his recent races, but still looking good. Jackson Carr in 4th for Auriga Motorsports. Paul Ayala from Mercury Motorsports, a great 5th place finish for him. Jeff Schroeder, 6th place for Lumos. Patrick Olson, 7th place for Team Banana in the new lime color. John Journey rounded off 8th place for Lumos Motorsports. Danny O'Keefe in 9th for Orion Legendary Racing. That is the primary ownership of Eli Cannon. Eli Cannon owns Orion and Auriga. Orion is the primary. Anybody who's looking, I think they are looking for a 3rd driver. Danny O'Keefe and Eli Cannon. They got the first 2. So if you're interested in joining them, give Eli or Danny a message. Checo Krigsman, 10th place, rounding off the points. Get Good Racing. Not as many points as they've seen in past weeks, but like I said, still great points. He got into points there. Teammate Marion Barbaro up in 3rd. Arturo Mayorga, Blue Frog Racing, just outside points, but he's going to start in 2nd on the sprint. And Alexander Shanna, after a slowdown penalty and an incident that caused damage for a majority of his race, will be starting in pole for the sprint. He's going to have to hold off a hungry Tieco Krigsman. We'll see how that goes. Andre Hansen, 13th. He'll be starting in 13th for the upcoming sprint race for Ingrid Alexandra Racing. Randolph Smith, also Mercury Motorsports Racing, starting in 14th. Our graphic down here. Yelmer Alberg, 15th. For Team Banana, Lucas Lins for Capral Racing in 16th. He had a great run there. I don't know what happened to him, but he dropped off at the end. Jack Clark in 17th, Nick Marshall in 18th for Get Good and Blue Frog, respectively. And Andy Ray Miller, Privateer, Tristan Marshall, Blue Frog Racing. Take a look at our race info. What are we looking at now? 78 air temp. And track temp is now up to 104, so 5 degrees hotter than when we had started. And after our warm-up here, it should go up just a tiny bit more. The sun's out. Very little cloud cover. Mayorga getting a lap in, Shanna getting a lap in, Smith and Marshall both getting laps in our warm-up, which we are 4 minutes into, which means we have a minute left. So if you missed it, you never know, you might have. Check out our extreme scoring commercial.
Allow extreme scoring to do the work for you.
Like I said, quick. 15 seconds. That's all they get. That's all they give us. But Andre Hansen pulling out the pits here. Doing a little bit of burnout. I think Marshall getting some laps in on the warm-up here. Want to practice your pits. No, you're not going to pit in the sprint. Really, you want to practice turn 1. How is turn 1 going to go? 5-minute warm-up. We're going to have 1 minute of gridding, and then we're going to be going hot. Now Channa leading them. Arturo Mayorga right behind him. Actually, Paul Ayala, I believe, right behind him. All right, let's check out the grid. Here we are. Now Shanna to start us off. 33 seconds into the gridding process. Everybody revving their engines. Getting ready. Gonna be a fun sprint race. Pedal to the floor for 7 laps. No yellows, no pit stops, no no stopping of any sort, and here we go. Everybody's revving their engines. We're away. And getting off the line fairly good. He blocks off Mayorga. Mayorga, ooh, is going to block off Tiago Krigsman right there. Ooh, some bad. Ooh, Chia Pallone gets hit. Bunch of cars going off with damage. We have Arturo Mayorga holding up Tiago Krigsman. Alex Shanna gets a good jump. Almost a second clear of Mayorga already, only through 2 turns. Now look at the rest of this grid. 2 wide, 2 wide, 2 wide, 3 wide going into turn 3. Ooh. And that is going to be Marion Barbaro on James Molaire pushing him wide. Waiting for the rest of the cars to go on by. A couple cars in the back. We're going 2 by 2 through the rest of the turns here. Arturo Mayorga right behind Tiago Krigsman. Tiago has been unleashed to attack Alex Shanna. Arturo Mayorga sitting in 3rd. Can he hold on against Danny O'Keefe, John Journey, and Patrick Olson just sticking his nose in the mix here. We're 2 by 2 again. Going into the last final turns of the lap. Everybody's been too wide this entire lap. Ooh, we're getting real close there. Danny O'Keefe on Arturo Mayorga. Some beautiful racing to start. Tiago Krigsman right ahead of them, and Shanna, ooh, only 0.7 ahead. Getting run down by Krigsman already. O'Keefe fighting, John Journey fighting to hold off these cars behind him. This is the beauty of the sprint race. Some of the faster cars are behind. Slower cars are in front. Or at least unfortunate cars are in front. See a big train going down the front straight here. Tiago Krigsman fastest lap, 133.8. And Jake Potts comes back with a 133.1. He is fighting. Let's try and get his team back in the points here. Gotta fight Krigsman and that Get Good Racing squad. James Molaire, he had gotten bumped by wow, real close. He had gotten bumped by Marion Barbaro, who seems to be way out of the race. Krigsman's looking up the inside of Shanna. This is for first place, 10 points. This would get Krigsman or Shanna, whoever gets this. Danny O'Keefe right behind him. Arturo Mayorga pushing. We have Patrick Olson, followed by John Journey, Paul Ayala, Jackson Carr, Jake Potts, Randolph Smith in the last point spot, and Nick Marshall behind them. Tiago Krigsman right on the back bumper. Daniel O'Keefe keeping him in sight. See the entrance to the turn here. Tiago Krigsman gets a better entrance than Shanna. Shanna has a little bit more on the exit, but Krigsman looks like he has that lower downforce wing in the back and in the slipstream. 3/10 behind. He's going to make that up really fast. As we come, cars single file right behind them. Shanna defending on the inside against Tiago Krigsman. Krigsman has a faster lap by 4/10 of a second on Shanna. Shanna is going to really have to hold this off for another 4 laps here. Shanna with a cut in front of Krigsman just slightly. Krigsman has the inside here. Like Jack Clark coming out of the pits just said, I'm going to think better of it. There's a whole line of cars. Shanna pushed a little bit wide. And Tiago Krigsman takes it from Shanna. See if Shanna can battle back here at all. Looks like Krigsman's going to have the lead of the race. Ooh, Shanna actually deep brake. And he's going to go and push Krigsman just slightly wide there. O'Keefe trying to take advantage of this situation. He is right behind these two. Having a real good time watching the battle. That means that O'Keefe is going to be able to battle himself. Ooh, and a little bit of contact there. Wow, they couldn't have gotten any closer. And, in fact, they touched, so really you can't get any closer. O'Keefe loving it. Patrick Olson loving it. Arturo Mayorga behind. Trying to push. And it's looking like Tiago Krigsman is probably going to get Shanna down the straight here. As we look back, we have Arturo Mayorga already being passed by John Journey. What a great release by Journey here. Paul Ayala right behind them. Try and keep as many people in the loop as possible. Shanna on the inside of Krigsman. He holds it. Looking for that release. Ooh, he gets a little squirrely on the exit. O'Keefe loving it still. 4 cars battling for that 3rd place spot and 4th place spot. Looks like, ooh, wow, Jake Potts, he's made up some ground, and Molaire not far behind that. I know Molaire had a 30-second gap on a 28-lap race, but wow. Shanna getting passed by Krigsman there. Shanna just cannot get by him. Can't make that same move happen again, and Danny O'Keefe is right behind him. He's got to worry now. Not only does he have Tiago Krigsman in front of him, he's trying to chase, but Danny O'Keefe right behind him, Patrick Olson right behind him, Journey, Mayorga, they're all within striking distance. Potts, Molaire, Carr, and Ayala. Wow, all the points guys are within striking distance of each other. Less than a second for most of them. Journey's 2 seconds back. Mayorga's 1 1/3 second back. Potts making a move right now on Mayorga, and Mayorga's just trying to hold on for as many points as he can muster in this sprint race. He's got the leaders the last race, Jake Potts, James Molaire. Breathing down his neck, Krigsman making a little gap, almost a full second. And looks like, oh no, Jackson Carr had something happen to him. Actually, Danny O'Keefe. Oh, Danny O'Keefe is beached. It looked like he got hit. Rear-ended. Breaking into the final corner there. Tiago Krigsman starting to run away. Journey in 3rd. He's got the train of cars behind him. Shanna up in 2nd. A few seconds ahead of his teammate. 3.5 seconds to be exact. And he has everybody breathing down his neck. Journey is going to have the weight of the world on his shoulders. Potts pushing. Olson pushing. Molaire, Mayorga, Carr all pushing. Let's see what we can get here. This should be some fun racing to see. Love this camera angle as we see these cars start going down towards the final couple turns. Into the final turn. Molaire gets by Olson. Ooh, pushes Olson a little bit wide. So we have a Krigsman Shanna Journey podium sitting right now, and Shanna falling back from Krigsman. Krigsman, one of the fastest ones, leading the championship, so technically the fastest one on the track. Shanna in second, Journey in third. Teammates second and third, trying to take those two podium spots again. But Jake Potts pushing up on John Journey. John Journey trying to hold the inside, and Potts just so much faster than him. It looked like setup, and oh wow, James throws it on the inside too. Doesn't even look like Journey saw James Molaire. Jake Potts gets by, James Molaire gets by, and suddenly Jake Potts and James Molaire are going to be running down Alex Shanna. John Journey in fifth, Patrick Olson behind him, Jackson Carr, Arturo Mayorga. Uh-oh, Mayorga pulling over. Could he have not fueled up enough? Huh, we'll have to see. Yeah, I'm not sure if he sped up enough. We'll see some cool speed camera action going on right here. Paul Ayala in seventh, fighting Journey Olson. Ayala Carr Barbaro. It's so much fun watching these drivers battle. The sprint race is probably the best thing that the league has done in a long time. It just gives another dynamic, gives that second chance, gives that fun, let's push for 7 laps instead of a full 28. It gives so much more fun. And we are on the last lap of our sprint race here. We have Barbaro, who is just past Jackson Carr, going to be looking up the inside of Paul Ayala. Can't quite get it. Yeah, Shanna 3 seconds back in second. Jake Potts only 2.3 seconds back from Shanna. Molaire behind Potts. Right behind them. So Lumos and Knox looking like some good points. Get Good looking like some good points in first and eighth for Marion Barbaro right here. If Barbaro can get ahead of Ayala, that'll be just a couple more points for him, but every point counts in this championship. You take the 9 best races out of the 10. You kind of have an off week. Ooh, and as speaking of off, we have Barbaro going off, and Jackson Carr makes a move on the inside of him. Shanna getting run down by these Knox cars. Journey can't do anything to help him. Here comes Paul Ayala being run down by Jackson Carr. Marion Barbaro right behind him. Paul Ayala looking like he's going to be in 7th for this, but you never know what can happen on the last turn. Barbaro right on the tailpipe of Carr. Ooh, is Barbaro going to get around him? Carr's going to have to really push him wide. He defends. Barbaro is in front. Carr is in front. Oh, who's going to get it? Oh, Barbaro just gets by him. Wow, what a finish there for 7th and 8th. Randolph Smith also a little bit of a train. Gets the last point there. Yelmer Alberg just outside the points. Andre Hansen just outside the points. Jeff Schroeder as well. Lucas Linz, some bad luck. Richard Torgensen. There we are. That's Brazil. Oh, we got a couple Mercury guys bumping in the background. That is Brazil. Some fun being had. We love to see it. Some fun being had by some of the drivers. And that will that'll conclude it. Let's look at our results here. For the feature, 10 points goes to Tieko Krigsman. Get Good Racing recovers from his 10th place position in the first race. Alexander Shanna getting 9 points, or Lumos Motorsports, a recovery from the first race that he had. Jake Potts in third, Knox Motorsports, and James Molaire, Knox Motorsports. Third and fourth getting some good points, making up some ground on Tieko Krigsman and Marion Barbaro. John Journey, Lumosi Motorsports, trying to get more points on the board. They're trying to fight for that third place spot. Noxie Motorsports and Get Good Racing are the leaders. They're trying to fight for every inch that they can get. Team Banana, Patrick Olson, great weekend. A little bit of unfortunate driving at the end of the race of the feature. Sprint, a little bit better, 6th place there. Going to be getting himself 4 points. Paul Ayala, Mercury Motorsports, 7th place. Marion Barbaro, 8th place for Get Good. Jackson Carr, 9th place for Ariga. Randolph Smith for Mercury Motorsports gets the last point of our sprint weekend. We'll go down the rest of them. Yalmer Alberg, Andre Hansen, Jeff Schroeder, Tristan Marshall, Lucas Linz. Add a few more in there. Victor Torgerson, Arturo Mayorga, Nick Marshall, Danny O'Keefe. Arturo Mayorga had to have something happen to him. Looks like 2 laps down, so he crashed. 2 laps to go. Danny O'Keefe, too. So Danny O'Keefe and Mayorga, we know, were fighting. And then just kind of disappeared. So that's probably what happened. They probably got a little bit of a piece of each other. Well, that's going to be it for the weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed. Big shout out to our sponsors, Capral Sim Racing. Visit them at capral.store. And Extreme Scoring. They are the software being provided to us. And Butt Kicker. They provide us with 3 units every season to give out to you, the racers, and we're going to be doing a random one this season. So, not just winners, but anybody who enters into 8 of the races for the season will have a chance to win. So, come on out. Come race. If you start now, you won't get the random entry, but you never know. You could win a team championship. You could, get a good good standing for the team. Get yourself a trophy. Get yourself a butt kicker unit. So come on out, have fun. League is free. Sign up is right there. www.iFormulaLeague.com. Silverstone. That's going to be in less than 24 hours. Sunday, October 16th. We'll see you guys soon. Good luck in the next weekend, all drivers, everybody who's just tuning in just for fun. Tune in a few hours. Do the live race. See you guys soon.